shortage. And I cannot think of a more harrowing, panicked crisis for parents to face than desperately trying to find food and formula for their newborn babies. I've led on this issue since February, and we as House Republicans continue to demand answers from the FDA. And unsurprisingly, when I reached out in February from my office to the FDA, we received no substantive response. Joe Biden simply has no plan. In fact, when Joe Biden's White House was asked about the shortage, they laughed. Shameful. Make no mistake, there is nothing laughable or funny about this crisis. As a new mother, I understand personally the severity of this challenge. My son Sam is 9 months old, he is formula fed, and even in my trips to the grocery store in upstate New York, the shelves have been fairly empty. And there was an article just today about families having to drive hours to access stores that have formula. Think about the cost of gas for families on limited income. So today, House Republicans are here to push for action from the FDA and the Biden administration, who should have had a plan for this shortage months ago. Instead, bare shelves Biden has continued to pass the buck. Biden and the FDA needed to work directly with the manufacturers and hospitals to make sure that we have an adequate supply of baby formula and make sure that parents know where to go if the shelves are empty at the store. Think about this. Babies have been put to bed hungry while parents are desperately trying to find alternative formulas that are often difficult to procure. This is not a third world country. This should never happen in the United States of America. We are unified in demanding action to address this crisis. I'm turning it over to my colleague, Ann Wagner, who is a mom and grandmother and has heard firsthand from her constituents. Ann.
Thank you. I thank our conference chair greatly. I am Ann Wagner. I represent Missouri's 2nd Congressional District in the suburbs of St. Louis County. This is sadly Joe Biden's America. Working families are already struggling to put food on the table due to the skyrocketing costs of everyday items. And now they are facing a crisis that is threatening the very lives of their newborn children. This baby formula shortage is hitting mothers all over the country, but especially in my home state of Missouri. Missouri is just one of 6 states in America that has more than half of its baby formula out of stock. Business and retailers are rationing supplies. As you can see, this is from a local store, limiting the amount of formula that a customer can buy. The St. Louis Crisis Nursery, an amazing organization dedicated to supporting at-risk children, has been pleading for donations of formula so they don't have to turn away families in need since the end of February. This is absolutely unconscionable. As a mother of 3, and as Elise said, a proud grandmother of 2 and another sweet baby on the way, it is terrifying to think of the desperation that parents in my district are feeling when they cannot provide the basic necessities that they need for their children. I've heard stories of moms firsthand, my own daughter-in-law, bartering for baby formula on Facebook. Pregnant women are asking if they should start stockpiling. They're anxious during a time of high stress and anxiety. They should never be happening. It is purely due to the blatant incompetence in this White House and the Democrats who haven't even scheduled a hearing until the end of May. This has been weeks and weeks since the end of February. I will fight for these resilient mothers and fathers who are already dealing with so many challenges. And I assure you that my Republican colleagues that stand with me today and in the rest of our conference, they will do everything in their power, in our power, to get the Biden administration to take action to fix this life-threatening crisis now. I thank you, and I now hand the podium over to our chairman of the Energy and Commerce Committee, a wife and mother herself, my good friend, Kathy McMorris Rogers.
Very good, thank you. Right. In Washington State, moms, support groups, nurses have been telling me that this is the biggest crisis that they have faced as they face the shortage of baby formula. Families are turning to the internet because they are so desperate. It is extremely dangerous. You think about moms going to the grocery store and having an empty shelf. In some cases, they're driving for hours in order to get the baby formula that they need. And they certainly don't need to be facing empty shelves. We shouldn't be rationing formula to keep their babies fed. And some families, they rely upon specific formula. I talked to one mom who has a baby with allergies, and it's extremely difficult. She feels like she's playing Russian roulette as she goes to the store. President Biden and the FDA must do more. This is a matter of life or death. What will it take for the Biden administration to reverse its inflation, supply chain, and energy crises that are making the shortage worse? On the Energy and Commerce Committee, as well as with my colleagues in the conference, we are asking the questions. We've been raising the alarm to President Biden for months. We've been seeing the empty shelves. We've been seeing the rising cost on families. We also have concerns about the Abbott recall and how it is impacting shortages. On behalf of every parent and caregiver who is unsure as to whether they'll be able to feed their children, we need answers and we need accountability. I want to thank our conference chair, Elise, as well as Ashley Henson, everyone who is here representing parents and grandparents. I'm a mom of 3 kids. We will not stop until this shortage is fixed. And with that, I'm proud to introduce my colleague Patrick McHenry, a longtime leader for parents and grandparents and our families here on Capitol Hill.
Well, as a parent of 3 young children and one that we're looking for formula for, I'm here to tell you that I know that parents are struggling in America. The Biden administration has made every aspect of family life more difficult. Go to the grocery store, you see the rising price on the shelves of every available thing, and yet you also go to the grocery store and see the lack of availability of key things that you need for family life. And now we see the lack of access to baby formula. And we ask why? Well, this is not just a supply chain crisis, it's a crisis for families to be able to feed their children. And it's incumbent upon parents to provide a safe environment for their children. We try to reduce stress in a very stressful time for our children as well. So we're asking the question to this administration, how are you prioritizing this? What actions are you taking to relieve the pain of families? We just had Secretary Yellen testify before my committee a few minutes ago, and she says, well, for the administration, it's all hands on deck for inflation. Well, we have to ask them, what are you actually doing? What does it mean? And so when it comes to baby formula, people can see this for themselves, what this administration has brought in terms of regulatory policy, and then the lack of competence in responding to firm desires within society, firm needs within society. And that's why we're here today, to raise this question. This is not meant to be a partisan exercise, but we've come together because we don't see Democrats raising the same issue and willing to work with us to get some answer from this administration. So we're demanding answers, and that's why we're here today.
We're next going to go to Stephanie Bice from Oklahoma, who's been a leader legislatively on this issue.
Thank you, Elise. All too often, Republicans are called pro-birth, or we're told that we only care about children before they are born. This is simply not true. In fact, it is important that we continue to support and advocate for policies that help Americans from birth throughout their lives. To this end, yesterday, my good friend Randy Feenstra from Iowa and I introduced H.R. 7718, the Formula Act, to try to combat the severe formula shortages that we are seeing across the country. As a mother, I know firsthand how this can impact a family. Although my girls are older now, when my youngest daughter was born, we learned that she had colic and needed specialized formula to help with the effects of it. I can't imagine dealing with the colicky child and not being able to find formula to help combat that. I've heard from many of my constituents back home that are struggling to find formula on the shelves. House Republicans are dedicated to finding a solution, and we have one. Speaker Pelosi should bring the legislation that Republicans have presented to the floor immediately to try to solve this crisis for American families. Thank you, and at this time I'd like to introduce my colleague Randy Feenstra from Iowa.
Thank you, Chairwoman Elise Stefanik. Thank you for putting this together. You think about this, under the Biden administration, we hear crisis after crisis after crisis. And here we have another significant crisis. In Iowa and in the Midwest, we have women that can't find formula for their infants. Literally cannot find it, or they're traveling from anywhere from 50 to 75 to 100 miles to try to get it. This is not right. This is a very serious situation. So with my colleague, Congresswoman Bice, and myself, we put together a solution that we can find formula, we can bring in formula from other areas to make sure that these mothers have formula for their infants. This is so important. I wish the administration would finally understand the seriousness of what's going on. With that, I'll turn it to my good friend, Blake Moore.
Thank you, Elise, and to my colleagues, Rep. Spice and Feenstra. We're always going to be about finding solutions, so appreciate you putting forth an actual solution that we can get behind. That is something that we as a conference are heavily focused on. This nationwide baby formula shortage we're currently facing is a major crisis for all American families raising infants, particularly those who face financial hardships and have to travel far distances to search for formula. My wife and I, we have a 6-month-old son, Franklin. He was born a month early. He is dependent on formula. He had to undergo a surgery. His esophagus and his trachea were conjoined, and they had to separate these two. Spent a month in the NICU. Our ability to nourish our child entirely rests on formula. This is fundamental to every single young family that exists, and having this option. I think, and I compare it to when my now 9-year-old was born. He was born at Georgetown Hospital the very day before Hurricane Sandy hit back in 2012. Many of us may remember that. I went to the grocery store while my wife was still in the hospital, and the grocery aisles were empty. It was the most nervous as a dad, and I'd only been a dad for like 6 hours. It's the most nervous I had ever been, knowing that this child was dependent on me, and that was a blip. It was a weather-related issue. A few days later, grocery shelves were back up. We were back up and running. That's what America does. But we're just not seeing that in the Biden administration. We're having constant, persistent crisis after crisis. And this is another one of these, and this is so much more concerning than anything weather-related. We're not in the pandemic issue anymore. We've got to get our FDA and our supply chain process going again and coming with real solutions. We need immediate action. I urge the Biden administration to take this as serious as it is for every single family out there that's got this pending issue with the grocery shelves being so barren right now for oftentimes self-inflicted reasons. And we've got to be able to get out ahead of this. Let our industries operate and do what they know they can do in this amazing American economy, and let it thrive. Thank you very much.
We will next go to Marjorie Taylor Greene.
Thank you. Food security is national security. And right now we have a food security crisis for the most vulnerable of Americans, the ones that we cherish the most, and that's our babies. Moms and dads all over the country, some of them are traveling hours every single day looking for baby formula as they can't find it in their local grocery stores. They're reaching out to friends and families and making new friends in Facebook groups and online as they're searching to find baby formula. Even mothers that have been giving their babies baby formula are now searching out breastfeeding mothers looking to buy an extra supply of milk if they're willing to share it or sell it. This is a crisis that should never be happening, and this is completely, squarely on the shoulders of the Biden administration and the Democrats that are controlling our government. You see, this didn't start just last month. It was July of last year when baby formula shortages started. And that happened because of COVID lockdowns and the complete crisis and shutdown in our supply chains. Now with rising inflation and fuel prices, this is going to continue. This is not going to remedy itself quickly. We also have over-regulation through the FDA, and this has been going on for years. Label requirements, shipping requirements, and very strict rules when it comes to baby formula. So it's not just getting a supply here at home, it's difficult to get it from overseas. When you have mothers crying in grocery stores because they can't find food to feed their babies, That is a critical sign that we are in a country in despair, we're a country in crisis, and we have to do everything we can to change it. Here's what we know. This government is failing the American people, the taxpayers and its citizens. Pictures are emerging today from the border where the Biden administration has been sending pallets of baby formula for illegal mothers and their babies, while American mothers and babies cannot find baby formula. This is completely unacceptable, and this needs to end now. I have one thing to say, and this is something that it's hard to even imagine, but we cannot trust our government. If you're an expecting mother, I strongly urge you to do the best you can to try to breastfeed your baby, because you cannot depend on this government that is supposedly running our country to create the right conditions in our economy for you to be able to find baby formula. And this should never, ever happen. I thank Congresswoman Stefanik, I thank my colleagues that we're all joining together to work on this, because this is a situation that is critical, and we have to do everything we can to shore this one up and get it fixed immediately. Thank you very much.
We will next go to Mike Waltz.
Thank you, Congresswoman Stefanik. Mike Waltz from Florida. Look, I think we need to take a moment and think about the fact that in Joe Biden's America, it seems like it's easier to get a crack pipe in a government-funded smoking kit than it is to find baby formula. I'm a new father of a 4-month-old, and the other piece is that this crisis has been brewing for months. Since my 4-month-old has been born, I've had my entire family across 4 states scouring shelves looking for formula for which he is dependent to survive. And Elise, you mentioned third world countries. I've served in third world countries. I've seen the effects when infants have to subsist on formula that's been cut in order to spread it out, or no formula at all, or water, and the stunted growth, the mental capacity that's affected is sad, and it's heartbreaking. This is not a third world country, last I checked, but some days it feels like it lately. And what have we heard? What have we collectively heard from the Biden administration since we've been raising this issue? Silence, crickets, zero, nothing. Nothing at all. And that is unacceptable. We're going to do something about it. Thank you so much. I yield my time.
We will next go to John Rose.
Thank you, Chair Stefanik, and thank you for bringing together this group today to talk about this important issue. I am the father of a 1-year-old son, Sam, who uses baby formula, for whom we use baby formula, and so I know how serious the shortage of baby formula is, not only at our household, but for parents all across this country. And quickly, it is becoming another crisis at the feet of our President Biden. Like most parents, my wife and I went through trials with our baby to figure out what worked for him. After breastfeeding for several months, my wife began to transition Sam to baby formula. And like so many parents have experienced initially, that wasn't going well. He was experiencing stomach aches. Eventually, we found a sensitive formula mix that worked for Sam, and all was well. Unfortunately, today, we aren't able to find that mix like so many Americans. And as a result, we see Sam experiencing some of the stomach issues that he began with early on. This is unacceptable. We live in one of the greatest countries in the world where food should not be a question. And so it is really shameful that the confluence of all of the bad choices that this administration has made over the 1+ years that they've been in office have led us to this point. I'll also represent a mother from Gallatin, Tennessee, that I believe is emblematic of the problem. She has an 8-month-old little girl who she recently had to go to 6 stores and then ultimately travel over 6 hours to find formula that her young baby girl could tolerate. Republicans concerned about this asked the FDA commissioner, what action is the FDA taking to address the shortage? And a series of other questions. And I'm happy to share this letter with you today if you'd like to see it. All we've heard from the White House is that the FDA is working around the clock. The same answer we see so often. Well, apparently they're not very effective working around the clock because they've yet to be able to provide us with real answers about how they're going to solve these problems. The president yesterday was in the Midwest raising money for the DNC. But I say to the president, the shelves are empty, Mr. President, and so are your words. If I have to go to the FDA myself to get answers, I will, because the bottom line is parents want answers to what this president is doing, and we deserve those answers. Thank you. And now, Claudia Tinney, my colleague, Representative Tinney.
Thank you so much, Chairwoman Stefanik, and thank you to all my colleagues and all the mothers out here who know how hard it is to get the formula right now. I'm also the mother of one who had issues just like Congressman Rose's baby with sensitivity. He was a very large baby, and now he's 6'5", and he's very healthy because we didn't have a supply chain problem back in the day when I was a mother. But now I am an aunt, a new aunt, and my new niece is unable to get supplies either, and she's in Texas. And so I also have a staffer who just had a baby, adopted baby Gus, who is also not able to get baby formula for his needs. This is a problem that is not going to go away, as my colleagues identified. There has been one crisis after another every day, and there are many more to come. And it's because of this administration's economic illiteracy and their refusal to understand how to solve these problems, or even to address the problems. So Americans need to brace themselves, because this isn't going to end until we have an administration and a Congress that is going to stand up for the American people, use common sense and good economic policy to make sure that our small businesses, our large businesses, and our supply chains are brought back. And I am so grateful to be with colleagues who have that kind of background and are going to continue to fight for us. And I appreciate the new legislation that's been put in by my other colleagues. So thank you so much, and I really appreciate this press conference. Thank you.
We'll next go to our final speaker, Tim Burchett.
I want to thank you, Chairwoman Stefanik. Thank you. You've got a new title, but the best title you got is Mama.
For sure.
Being an unrepentant mama's boy, I can tell you that means a lot to me. But I come from the great state of Tennessee, and it's been hit the hardest. My state's formula sold-out rate is about 50% right now. That's why I'm calling on the Tennessee Attorney General and the U.S. Attorney General to vigorously investigate any potential instances for illegal price gouging and stockpiling. Imagine somebody gouging the price of baby formula. To me, that classifies them in the dirt bag category, and they are. Even with these formula shortages for American babies, there are reportedly, as was stated earlier, pallets of baby formula possibly being distributed at the border. Now, these poor immigrant babies are here of no fault of their own. But if it wasn't for President Biden's continued failure at the southern border, we would not even be discussing this issue right now. This feels more like putting America last rather than America first. With the economic might of our government, we should be able to free up enough formula for our American babies. Just this weekend, we celebrated Mother's Day, and this week, it seems that all these mothers are doing now is worrying about feeding their babies. In the United States of America, folks, that is unacceptable. And thank you, Chair Lady, so much.
Thank you. As you can see, this is a unifying issue because it's really a crisis that impacts every family. Again, as a new mother, I can't think of anything that makes families more panicked than not being able to feed your baby. And with that, I'm happy to take questions. Yes, sir.
Ms. Stefanik, is there any way to have perhaps the Defense Production Act or some other means of quickly trying to mitigate this shortage?
I mean, look, this administration should be looking at any and every single option. What we have heard from them is not only nothing from the FDA, but we also have heard laughter just yesterday with the newly appointed press secretary. That is laughing in the faces of mothers and fathers across this country. There is a reason why the Republican Party is the party of parents. It's not just because of education, it's because we are advocating on behalf of families across the country. Next question. Yes, sir.
I just want to be clear, like when you say everything, the Defense Production Act is on your menu of things that they should be considering.
This administration should show leadership. Let's remember how effective President Trump was when he cut through red tape to develop historically speedy vaccines through Operation Warp Speed. Congress's role was to make sure that we funded that we conducted proper oversight. This administration should be looking at everything and anything. We have heard absolutely nothing. We're talking about the President of the United States, who simply doesn't care, whose only statement from his administration has been laughter in the face of mothers and fathers. So, of course, they should be looking at any opportunity. Yes?
Is there anything legislatively that Congress can do?
Yes, you heard from Randy Feenstra and Stephanie Bice, the Formula Act. That's been introduced. There will be a number of Republican colleagues on that bill. House Democrats' plan is to have a hearing 2 weeks from now. I can tell you as a new mom, families and moms and dads and babies can't wait 2 weeks. It needs to be happening now. Where are any of the Democrats talking about this issue? They're not, because they don't care, obviously, and they're woefully out of touch with families that are working hard to make ends meet, and now they can't find formula, and they are struggling to fill up their cars and their tanks of gas to travel 50, 100 miles to scour the grocery store shelves. Thank you, everybody. Thank you to my colleagues for highlighting the importance of this issue.